Welcome back to Werewolf the Apocalypse. The end of all things. The end is near. Hashtag White Wolf wrote itself into a corner by saying that the end is near, and then when 2000 came around and the end wasn't here, they didn't know what to do. So they blew up their own games.
Out, like, when you write the year 2000 to be a neat little bow for your story to end.
Yeah, and then the year 2000 comes along, and you go, oh, what do we do now? But they did publish The Apocalypse.
I do respect that they did actually end the story.
They did end the story, yeah. And then they have brought it back again, because why not?
Because of money, like, probably.
Exactly. And also, because I don't think that, like, the Onyx Path, the Chronicles of Darkness ever got the same amount of attention and love that the World of Darkness got, so they had to bring back the World of Darkness, because, yeah.
Honestly, like, I'm not gonna slag off that, but sometimes it feels like they were like, okay, let's say for Prometheans, just off the top of my head, they'd be like, okay, we need 5 black, and we need, like, maybe 1 or 2 evil splat.
Yep.
And then for like societies, we need like 5 societies, maybe 1 evil societies. And then they went to Mage. Okay, we need 5 splats and
they did 5 by 5 all over the place, which felt really
yeah. And it's all
a
and a lot of them like they don't need 5 like.
Yeah,
for example,
it felt really artificial after a while. Like, why are all the societies organized in a 5 by 5 grid?
Like, and honestly, you know what would have been really fun though? If they actually gave a lore explanation, like perhaps there's like something mystical about the number 5.
Well, in Mage there was, and you know,
I didn't read. I never went into Mage the Awakening because I thought it was a terrible idea to begin with.
What's terrible about Mage the Awakening? I don't know anything about
Mage the Ascension has as a foundational philosophy that the world is malleable, that the world is subjective, basically. It's very Jungian. It's like the collective unconscious creates our reality.
Warp logic.
Exactly. So if all of humanity believes in science, then that's the natural laws. Now gravity exists, and Einstein's theory of relativity works because the world believes in it.
Yeah, and like in the medieval era, it was like magic was real because people believed in magic back then.
So when you're trying to do medieval magic in the modern times, it's going to be much harder because the world itself is fighting against you. So basically it was a world of many, many subjectivities, which led to a lot of really interesting conversations about how metaphysics work. It was a philosopher's game. It was people who loved to talk about philosophy loved that game. So they killed all that and said, no, there is only one true way of doing magic, and that's the true things that the Atlanteans did back in, Atlantis. And all the other ways of doing magic is false.
That's fucking stupid.
Atlanteans are a common thing for like Atlanteans, Lemurians, the Hollow World. All these are
but the Atlantean magic, that's the big issue. Like Atlantean magic being the only real magic.
Well, it's not that it's the only. Like Michaela is kind of. It's basically like all the magic that we have now. Like is descended from Atlantean magic. They were the first magicians. Like. That's the kind of thing, like.
Anyway, we are not playing Mage, which, we should do someday, but not today. This is Werewolf the Apocalypse, which is rated R
I could play
for murdering everything.
I could play Son of Ether.
Yes. Oh, Son of Ether, Anyway.
Oh, come on.
It was Society of Ether that they...
Society of Ether, that's what they went with, yeah. Anyway. What horrors have we seen? Fronts to Gaia so far. Plenty of fronts to Gaia. Last time... No, this is the Helwalker... You've messed up my introduction completely, everybody. This is the Helwalker pack. Introduce yourselves. There we are.
And
I made...
El Duende, pronouns any all, and I am playing as Jake Stromfeld, aka True Strike, the Get a Fenris Arun.
I'm Jan. I'm playing as Paul, aka Skitters and Shadows, the Bone or Ragabash Teeth.
I'm Roger. I'm playing Miles Stormspeaker Lincoln, Glasswalker Galliard, previously New York Bohemian, now surprisingly turned country and western sex god.
Yes, you have.
Now that's a good one. That's a good line.
Animal magnetism. That goes into the quotes, if you will.
Oh man, that shit.
Okay. We'll try to deal with that as we move on, hopefully.
Last session, you had some fun with the Lupusborn pack, and you discussed your next move, and Skitters suggested alerting the Parks and Wildlife Service to the farmers' illegal hunting plans. So you decided to first investigate the local farms to see if sheep killings were caused by a worm creature. You also planned to lay a false trail to lead the hunters astray. Weavewalker scanned the Umbra, of course, around the ranch lands, finding a clean, orderly landscape. Wild and Weaver intersecting because you are in rural areas, hence the wild. And the Weaver being the farmlands where people have organized things. But no immediate signs of worm corruption anywhere. No weird green slime holes or ichor or cracks in the ground suggesting holes to horrible places where banes can be born. The pack, now in human forms, decided to pose as ecology students from the University of Wyoming and visited several farms, confirming at least 3 sheep kills and hearing rumors of more. You drove eventually to the nearby town of Redland City to gather more information and alert the authorities to, the potential that people would take matters into their own hands. I mean, on their own property, I think the ranchers and the farmers are entitled to shoot wildlife that threatens their cattle and their livestock. Let's just say that farmers and Parks and Wildlife Services have, or Fish and Wildlife Services have a lot of friction and so on. As it turns out, the Fed's offices are closed for the evening. Skitters went to the sheriff's station. A deputy confirmed hearing the rumors, had no solid information. Jake followed up, explicitly warning the deputy about the potential illegal hunt. The deputy seemed, shrug, because that's not his job. The sheriff's here, they're taking care of drunk people after Valentine's night celebration at the local steakhouse. The hub of community life, where you really did not fit in. You were sticking out like sore thumbs with your appearance.
Especially when Jake went out back and had some 5-star dining. 3-star dining.
That was minus 5-star dining from the dumpsters. That was weird. Jake is not amazing at sneaking necessarily. Anyway,
Look,
I mean,
what I'm thinking here is that one of Jake's distant relatives must have been a Bonar. That and also the Bonar mind control, man.
Why didn't you just go for a Bongnor Arun? Oh, right, because having Get a Fenris gifts is awesome.
No,
right?
Because I didn't even know that what the gifts were. I just went with Get a Fenris because the idea of playing Viking Werewolf sounded fucking awesome.
It is fucking awesome, and we don't know why. I mean, we do know the official reason why, but, I don't think we should give Nazis anything, so we shouldn't give Nazis the Get Offenders either. Should retake it, co-opt it right back to Nazis. Yeah. That's what I think.
Imagine... Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like saying that we're gonna give up the Nordic mythologies of Thor and Odin and so on to the Nazis just because they like walking around with a Thor's hammer. like some fakers, and we should do that because it's not. So yeah, we had Famous looks like a punk. We have Walker looks like a student. We have Skitters, who I don't know what does Skitter look like when he was at the steakhouse. I don't remember.
He looks he's nondescript.
Nondescript is a very good, yes, very nondescript. I think everybody just ignored his presence. Miles, however, turned on the animal magnetism, charmed the local band, and performed a song, won over the crowd, and caught the eye of a local woman named Cal, who definitely wanted to live dangerously and hook up with the stranger in town, the exotic New Yorker, because New York is very far away. Miles had a good night that night with the local cowgirl called Cal. While he enjoyed his newfound popularity, the rest of you drove out to the farmlands under cover of darkness, and in your wolf forms, you meticulously created a false trail with scents and paw prints leading away from the Lupusborn Pack's territory, so straight south instead of north, right? Ending in an area where tracks would be hard to follow. And so, with the misdirection set, you decided to postpone the search for the real Predator's tracks until the next day. And yeah, you returned to Valkenburg Foundation, I guess, the rest of you. How does Miles leave Cal behind? Because I'm sure she's gonna, take him for a truck ride to one of the local farms. And you can... I mean, she's slightly tipsy at this point and slightly drunk. And you're gonna end up in the haystack of the barn. Because that is just the most classic thing we can do in 1992, right? Romance on the prairies, modern cowgirl in haystack in the barn. The question is, does Miles stick around when she falls asleep? Or will he leave her as the one-night stand she might be and sneak out in the night and try to return to Valkenburg Foundation, which is probably several hours walk because you didn't get here on your own 2 feet, or you came here by vehicle.
Yeah, I think whichever way, Miles will stick around for a while, so you probably won't see him until at least midday the next day.
Midday the next day. Okay then. So haystack somewhere it is. And I'm just going to say that the rest of the pack are now at the Valkenburg Foundation, but Miles is out here. You're going to feel the smell of coffee first, which isn't bad, is it? And she's moving around in your location. She's moving around in socks. She's trying not to stomp. And when you open your eyes... She's half leaning in a doorway. She has hair is a little bit wild from sleep. She has a flannel shirt thrown on over whatever she slept in. And she's just checking the weather, more or less on instinct. And then she looks towards you and give you a small smile. She's trying to play it cool. She's failing. "Morning, Rockstar," she says.
Miles just does the stretches out, like the real sort of theatrical waking up maximum stretch.
There is definitely coffee involved. How can you live without coffee? It's not possible, I say.
And out of Miles has tasted, coffee is on the very high end of the scale.
Indeed. Yes, it is. He has tasted black, yucky things that's tasted much worse than that. So, giving the whole scars and stuff, like, she's gonna actually, she's gonna give you the coffee, of course, and pulls away with a bit of a grin and goes like, "So, do you always wake up looking like you're about to run from the law, or is that just a Valentine's Day thing?"
I usually wake up looking like I've already successfully run from the law.
That sounds very exciting and adventurous, she says. Ooh, am I getting myself in trouble now?
I might as well tell like the sort of the cleaned up version of the story that sort of is kind of fit for outsiders to know. Mental protest at a mine, and the mine security guards went crazy.
She's just, oh no, you're not a crazy hippie, are you? I guess that's what I get for hooking up with a city boy, isn't it? But that's more like her berating herself, not you, so she's just kind of smiling and yeah. Meanwhile, at the Valkenburg Foundation, what are our friends doing here? New day, new challenges, I guess.
Well, I guess first thing I'm doing is, after getting up, Jake is raiding the cafeteria for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that won't be a problem. That'll be easy enough.
And then I guess, honestly, unless if nobody stops him, probably head out to look at the horses.
Nobody's gonna stop him. I think Caleb will come up to him eventually.
Do horses normally stay calm around werewolves in hominid form? Or are these horses just used to werewolves?
There aren't too many horses on this farm, to be honest, though.
Yeah, like I imagine that these horses specifically are used to werewolves because they literally live in a facility filled to the brim with werewolves.
Caleb will come up to True Strike, and as you're coming out with the coffee and looking at the horses. So, True Strike, how did it go yesterday?
Things went smooth. We talked to the pack, we warned them of the danger, and then we made a diversion away from where the pack was. We're right now trying to investigate what killed the sheep so that perhaps we can, if it turns out to be something we can deal with it.
She's going to, Killa is, waving her tail and looks pleased. That's great. I'll get back to my patients. Thank you, True Strike. Keep up the good work. Tell the rest of the pack that I said hi. And
I will.
Give them my love. Feel free to follow up with a Lupusborn later when you have some time. I'm sure they'll appreciate the company if you've managed to befriend them already, which is not an easy thing to do. So, I commend you on that. They usually stay away from humans. Maybe did you go there in wolf form? Clever boy.
Yeah. I figured their whole issue was dealing with homids, so it would be a good idea to head to them in homid form.
Yep. You're not the only one picking up a cup of coffee this morning. Themis and Weavewalker will as well. Skitters, what are you doing?
I'm going to check in on the guy we sent here.
Oh, Shadowpad.
Yeah, and there was the dude too, right? And do we send?
Yeah.
What's he?
Masters.
The villain.
Yeah.
Masters.
Masters. This guy, who is no longer unconscious because he doesn't have to be unconscious here.
Yeah, that must have been a pretty big hit to the ego that he got his ass beat by what is obviously a teenager. He doesn't know how True Strike is built,
Let's just say that Masters doesn't look so good anymore.
Yeah.
He's in. one of those restraining shirts so he can't, hurt anyone or himself. And he's sitting in that cell, and his hair is not bound up in a ponytail, and he is kind of just rocking back and forth, just hitting his head against the wall. It is a padded wall, so he can't hurt himself. But yeah, he just hits his head against the wall repeatedly. He's not.
And what about?
Oh, if he can see you, he'll probably go absolutely insane. But yeah,
It's one of those padded rooms. It's probably like only like a little thing for like an eye slit, pretty much. Probably not like a window or anything.
yeah.
I'll check in on Shadowpad as well if he's just in a feud state.
Are you in wolf? You can't be in wolf form when you're doing this. The slits are not designed for wolves.
I didn't say I was in wolf form. Am I in wolf form on the thing?
You're in
yeah.
wolf form of
There.
the thing. You know what? As you're looking in at Masters, I think Masters is going to look back at you and recognize your eyes. He's seen you before, hasn't he? Oh, yes, he has.
I know. I was in Glabro when he saw me.
He hasn't seen you. Okay.
He's still got the same eyes, though.
Let's see now.
If he recognizes me, he recognizes me. It's up to you.
Let's go. I'm gonna check here to see if he recognizes you.
He had 2 chances to see us, didn't he? Both at the restaurant and then in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he definitely didn't see me at the restaurant because he was booking in the opposite direction.
So Masters will in fact recognize you. And for a half a beat, he just stares at you. His eyes are very bright. His head is slightly tilted. He's drawing in the air from the door, and then he smiles. It's a wide, pleasant, friendly smile.
And
Hello there. Haven't I? You're not Thomas. You're not Harry.
guess that makes me Dick.
Oh, come now. You got me to this place. You did your job.
Are they helping you?
Oh, yes, they are helping me. Helping me. Oh, they're helping me.
The way you say that, it makes me suspicious that they're not helping you.
Do you feel happy? Do you feel pleased?
No. But we sent you here because we thought you'd be helped. But if they're just like, you're not crazy. I mean, you're probably power man, maybe a sociopath, but I don't think you're crazy. You don't need to be tied up like this, do you? I mean, are you crazy? Like, would you kill people with your bare hands if you could? Or are you just regular crazy? You were going to kill all of us with your gang of horror-infused enthusiasts. So, like, you can't blame us for the pre-strike.
Yes,
And
I wanted to kill you. It was self-defense, though.
So, Shadowpad's pack took you here, and so why did you run away?
Does it look like a place I want to stay in? Would you want to stay like this?
In a mental... No. But the first time you were here, did they tie you up? Did they put you in this kind of condition?
They did much worse than that. You don't know who you're working for?
I'm trying to find out.
You're lying. You're lying, aren't you?
No. Why would I lie? I have no reason to lie to you.
You're just here to savor in your victory. You're a monster like the rest of them.
Oh, I'm a monster, but not for reasons that you Do you know how many people I killed the first night I turned?
5.
I'm a monster because of that. But
You're all bastards.
Bastards.
You're
Okay.
You should all die. All of you.
And so the psychiatrists here aren't helping you with this like paranoia you seem to have? I mean, have they done
It's
much more
not
than tie you up, like-
paranoia! He shouts and smacks his head
Like-
against the wall.
Are they giving you psychiatry sessions? Or have they just tied you up like you're mad?
Why are you here? Why are you here to mock me? You
You hear-
sadist.
I'm trying to... I'm not a sadist. Look, you need help. And if this place isn't giving you help...
I am... The only
Then
help
what
I
use
need
is
is
it?
a way out of here. If you want to help, get me out
Not
of
if you're-
here.
Not if you're going to kill all the werewolves. We can't have you doing that.
You don't deserve anything better.
This seems like a back and
Spare
forth.
me.
Wit's not exactly your best combination of dice.
You hear a whisper that sounds suspiciously like True Strike. I'm gonna surgically remove your thyroid, dog.
Are you even... Is your character even here?
No,
Like, how
no,
would
he's not.
they
No,
psych-
no, that's just it's just a whisper you hear, just off in the distance.
It's not a whisper he hears. Yeah, Masters is absolutely a danger to you and all other werewolves.
Yeah, but does that... Okay, I think I'm done talking to him. I want to check on Shadowpad because we sent her here too. And if she's
did.
tied up, I'm going to be in a bad mood.
No pad. Poor girl.
Hopefully,
Well,
and
at least, you know, she's not horribly mangled anymore. So, that's a good thing.
just a few new scars on the face or something. probably.
Yeah, she's also here, and, well, she has her own cell, of course, her own, well, cell, we shouldn't call them cells, right? Her own treatment room, her own bedroom, her own bed. And
Hopefully not
she's-
padded.
What was that?
Hopefully not padded.
Oh, no, it's not padded.
Well,
She also doesn't have the packet of restraint that Masters has.
It's called fashion.
Yes, that's the fashion here. This early in the morning, I think she's just sleeping in her bed, honestly.
Okay, but does she look like she's in good health at least? Because I'm not going to wake her up.
Let's go with your wits and medicine, which is an amazing pool for you.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, I'm not a doctor, but I could look at someone asleep and be like, you know, that person seems like they're okay. 2 successes!
Look at that! He's sleeping, well, fitfully, let's say. There's dreaming going on, and it's probably not good dreams. But she is sleeping.
Okay, it's still early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna go up to the doctor's office.
This is weird things I do not expect you to do. So let's me have a look at my notes here.
Well, you made this guy suspicious, so now I'm like I never liked this place in the first place. Yes, the director's office.
You have Director Valkenburg, who is running the whole
Yeah.
place. You have Victor Helms, who is the Director of Operations.
Director of Valkenburg.
And then you have a couple of, like, nurses.
Like the director's office. Like, is there anybody there?
We have also Dr. Keating, of course, the chief psychologist. But the director's office, yeah. This is a Saturday, but you know the staff here lives on the ranch, so I think you know you'll meet Gretchen somewhere in the house.
No, I'm asking. Like, is she in her like? Okay, I didn't want to say it like this, but is the director's office available for burglary / larceny?
Oh dear. You're gonna burglarize the director's office.
It's currently 7 a.m. So by midday, when Miles finally comes back, this whole place is probably going to be in flames.
Probably, yes.
It will be if they're mistreating their patients. Let me tell you that much.
Oh, well, what was that? It's a 10. Okay, True Strike, what are we doing with the 10? I don't know.
My Ragabash senses are tingling. I think to myself, maybe I should go find Skitters.
The director's office is available for sneakiness, absolutely.
Oh, okay, I'm going to go in and see if I can find their notes on Masters.
You are one slippery fellow, aren't you? Larceny, all of it.
Yeah.
You're gonna make your way into... I mean, the director's office has all the things. Turns out they're all run by the Sabbat, or the Technocracy, or, I don't know. Make your mind up.
The Technocracy, because those guys are fun.
No, they kill werewolves on sight, because werewolves are reality deviants.
Magic.
And should not exist.
No, do they? Oh, they're not as cool as I remember.
Yeah, anything that is not human has to be destroyed to conform with reality, right?
Yeah, but like werewolves don't break reality; they just cause delirium. Like
That's
they don't
bad
get
enough.
paradox, so
They
that's
will
okay.
put you down because you are a reality deviant. Absolutely.
You ever wonder if, like, just a regular magician got killed by the Technocracy because they thought he was a reality deviant?
Probably.
Probably
mean
not.
like-
They have no. They have detectors for that sort of thing because, you know, they call it science, like true science, but it's really just another form of magic. So if anyone is using one of the spheres of magic, it's like the Ghostbusters with their, like, PKE meters. It like, they're gonna go like, bing! Oh, we have a reality deviant over there. Let's go and catch them. So, yeah. That's what you use the prime sphere
Yeah.
for. You're gonna sneak your way in. That's gonna take a while for you to rummage through that place. How much time do you want to give this?
Like, I don't know. You could be. I don't really have much investigation for some reason.
You
But-
don't. So, wits and investigation. Let's go! This is not gonna be an easy check, my friend. Not an easy check at all because.
Well,
you
if
have
it's not
a-
going to be easy, I won't do it because I've only 2 dice. Can't
It's
get
a
more
hard
than 2
check for
successes.
you, definitely, because you're looking for a particular set of files in an office you've never been in.
When I was designing this character, I always thought I could search using larceny. Like when you're stealing, but whatever. I should have given him investigate. Never mind. Okay, I meet up with Jake and I say,
I mean,
okay.
you could locate valuables in here, absolutely, but that's not what we're looking for, is it?
If you steal from Valkenburg, I'm getting you.
How would you know?
You can steal from anyone else. You can steal from the local ranchers. Hell, you can steal a whole cow. I'd probably help you. You can't steal from, like, Valkenburg, though. Man, be for real.
That is what you can see at this moment. But then again, you have no skills in medicine. You have no skills in investigation. What other things would be able to detect if something was off here? I'm looking for the skills that could help you finding any clues, and I don't see the skills. Like, no No science, no no occult, no medicine, no investigation, no finance. Yeah, there's just... You're good at finding valuables. And you can find the valuables in the office, fair enough. There are some ornaments, I guess. Little bit silver and gold plated stuff that are...
Is there a computer?
Absolutely. This is 1992, man. Of course we have a computer. To break into the computer, you need to do a wits and technology check, though.
I didn't say I was going to go in. I just said I'll take note of that and I'll go meet up with the rest of the pack.
I thought though about mechanically how this could work. If there is just like a filing system, and it's not just like a complete disaster of a filing system, it should be easy enough to just flick through the M file and find masters. And then maybe the role is to interpret the file to tell what it's saying.
We're getting distracted from what we came here to do anyway. If Miles is back, let's go looking for whatever is killing these sheep.
All right.
Yeah, I guess once the rest of the group is organized, I say, first of all, Kayla said hi, and she's sending her love to you all. And second of all, Skitters, what do you do?
Sorry?
Skitters, you did something. We know you did something. But what did you do?
How do you know? Huh? You don't know nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Skitter, I've known you for months. I've known you long enough to know that you've done something.
No, let's do this properly here, friends. Wits and insight. Stubborn is not gonna cut it here, Jake. Wits and insight versus Skitters' charisma subterfuge. Skitters has 2 successes automatic, taking half, and you have 2 successes taking half.
Oh no.
You notice nothing.
Wait. Yes, I will push this because fuck it.
Because of course you will.
Yeah.
Oh my! 4 successes. Skitters? Does Skitters look off in any way? Charisma subterfuge, please, to keep your facial expressions completely calm and not give away any of your
Tomfoolery.
4 successes, and that means Jake might notice a little bit of something being off. Because the attacker wins, right? Who's the attacker?
Yep. I'd say I'm the attacker here.
But why would you attack, though?
Or wait,
I'm
no,
gonna say
you're right.
Skitters is the
no,
attacker, so he wins. So you don't notice anything, True Strike. Everything is cool around here. Meanwhile, as you're staring at each other for absolutely no good reason, Themis has been up and early, and she has checked up with Kayla, and she has checked with other staff. I am talking, of course, about Lucius. You remember Lucius, right? No, you don't.
Lucius, I think I do remember. I talked to a bunch of these guys because I was sus of the whole place, so maybe I did talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the Silent Strider, Philodox.
Yeah.
And, you know, quiet but intense, late 20s, very much the outdoorsman. And, yeah, Themis has had some words with him about the rumors about the hunts. Apparently, the hunting rumors, at least so far, seems to be persistent. And she has gathered maps, fence line layouts, marked the list of the Johnsons and the other affected ranches, which roads the locals tend to use in the winter. And she's, you know, a practical readiness pass on the pack. Who is still injured? Nobody's injured, right? Everyone is fine. Weedwalker also steps in there. Everybody's fine.
I guess when you say that, Jake does a sarcastic little check of his body. Yeah, I don't think I got injured.
Today, at least.
Yes.
And Weedwalker has checked the Umbra, of course, because it's what she does. Optinode has been, this is a terrible place for Optinode. There's just no particular networks to hack around here.
Optinode is doing like some digital screaming because of all the wild everywhere.
Optinode hates this place. This is the worst.
This is like
Actually,
putting
I'm
wild-
not sure even that she wants to do penumbral senses right now because that costs the willpower and she might need the willpower later. So she's not even going to check the Umbra here.
Optinode is probably just making like the thing that controls the front gate and makes it swing open and shut, and it's just doing it over and over again because it's like being in sensory deprivation, and this is the only thing he can mess with.
Oh my God, Victor Helms is going to be so annoyed.
The spider is having a tantrum right now.
This Victor Helm, I think Ben Thomas is going to, because he's the chief of security, right? So Thomas is going to be like, why the hell is that gate failing? God damn it. So you're going to see Ben Thomas moving around and like, what? Stop it, gate. And you know, sooner or later, someone is going to notice that it's in fact Optinode doing it because, you know, they're also Garou and they can talk to spirits as well.
Yeah. Must be a little bit confusing to see like a pretty powerful Weaver spirit here, of all places.
Yeah, that
Weaver
might be a
belongs
bit
everywhere.
weird, actually. I have a feeling we have our friend Mary Canoe, who might be the one to spot Optinode. Yeah, she's gonna be like, is this one of yours? And Weavewalker will be like, okay. Optinode, return to your casing. Please stop messing with the gates. Canoe will genuinely think it's kind of funny after a while. After a while, it just gets annoying and it's disruptive. But she's the local child of Gaia Theurge, by the way. Chief nurse. Well, yeah, so having had a word with some of the locals here, yeah, what's the plan for today?
Well, I guess maybe check in
Let's-
on a.
Like, we were stopped by the darkness of finding the whatever's going on. So let's continue with that.
Yes, once the Storm Speaker comes back, on the way back here, just had a moment of realization since several of these people are like psychiatrists and psychologists. We'll just ask those members of staff if they know anything about them. What's it we're looking into the...
Yeah, Keating has
could ask
probably
them.
heard of
It's a good
heard of
idea.
that. Yeah, Keating has heard of it. I need to ask you, before you actually get back here, what are you saying to Cal? You know, because you're leaving somehow, and you don't have a ride, do you?
Oh, can we
Walk
borrow
of
cars
shame.
off the
Wait,
off
do
the
you
Valkenburg project?
So, Miles, how do you get away from her farm, and how do you get back? I mean, she can give you a ride somewhere if you need it. She's fine with that, absolutely.
yeah, we're gonna... You can just drop me off at this place. Ecology students, and this is as like animals and veterinary stuff. It's not really out of the question that we be here.
That
Oh,
makes
based-
sense. Yeah. And between when you have charisma and persuasion taking half 4, it's going to be very easy to convince her. She's just like, oh, yeah, that's very cool. I'm glad you help animals, she says. As she drops you off in her truck, she will give you a kiss again. And see you again tonight, maybe, Rockstar? It's a Saturday. The steakhouse will be open again.
I'll get Cal's phone number and say we may be able to make it to the steakhouse, but we may be out in the dark chasing after wildlife, so might not be able to make it.
She just nods and smiles. She has a story to tell her friends, and all the girls will want to know everything about the rock star.
Oh, the gossip here is going.
Crazy. They're going to I'm sure, discuss... I mean, how long will it take before everybody in the whole town knows about Stormspeaker's scars? Alright, my friends, so what are we doing?
Okay.
With
Pick
it's
up
the
where we left off.
psychiatrists here I've heard about the guys we're looking into. Do they know any other details that we don't already know? Any like reputation or any sort of inside knowledge that maybe we didn't get on our first? No, I mean once Storm Speaker is back talking to the psychologists here, if they've
right.
heard about
Yeah.
the organization we're looking into in New York.
Dr. Keating. Yeah, I mean, again, it's an association in New York, but it has... There we go. Dr. Keating. A frenzy. Yeah, he's... going... What... He's heard of the association, yes. He nods. Of course, Mr. Lincoln. I've heard about it.
It have any kind of shady reputation, like anything unwholesome about it?
No.
What is its reputation? How does it present itself to the profession?
It presents itself as, I suppose, an association that protects the good name of psychiatrists. I know that it's not the official medical association of psychiatrists, of course, but rather a charity, much like Valkenburg, you could say. But it has a good reputation among psychiatrists who want to protect themselves from malfeasance. I'd say it's more of a city-based thing than out here. They're too expensive for psychiatrists living outside of the bigger cities if you want to retain their services. They try to do things for free, I understand, but I mean, the American Medical Association of Psychiatrists are doing similar things, so it's really up to who you want to turn to. I myself have never made use of the ARP. No, I don't feel like there's a need to. The official medical association right there. Why would you need to turn to the ARP? But I understand that they, when the case becomes widely publicized, perhaps national or local media, then they step in and litigate that.
So just before we go out again on the search for the predators, I will fill Keating in on what we suspect so far about the organisation being a front for deliberately destructive, soul-crushing psychiatry, just in case he ever needs to know.
He will raise an eyebrow in a very analytical fashion and say, that is very concerning. Well, if that is true, then someone needs to pursue that, I suppose. Fortunately, it won't be me. I am quite buried here with work.
We'll get back on it as soon as we've dealt with the farmers here.
Of course. Good luck. Well, I don't know that they know me that well. Kayla is the one who treats the Lupusborn for the most part. Well then, if you'll excuse me, I have some work to do.
Go back to join everybody else.
Well, here we are, folks. What you want to do? Where we're going? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. You said something, and then we got sidetracked with Keating.
Seems like
Let's go
Which
and
is not a sidetrack necessarily. Sorry, I interrupted everybody again.
how about Jan goes first?
okay, let's Let's finally get on this tracking whatever attacking the. What are they called again?
Oh, shit, I mean, sorry. See, what the hell am I smoking? I haven't had much sleep either.
What?
Rocking it with my,
You should start sleeping before the sessions now. I think this is like the 3rd week in a row or something. You just stopped sleeping.
Yeah, no, fucking sleep is for the weak, man.
No, sleep is a luxury. Okay, I'm an old man. That's...
But yeah, no, I have pretty nasty insomnia.
For you.
I know, for me.
I also have bad insomnia. I had to, like, my psychiatrist told me to start taking coyote, and ever since I started taking that, it's gone. Oh, well, it's not. It's better. So maybe you should ask your doctor about coyote.
Anyway, you're heading out to investigate the real threat, as it were, against...
Yeah. The sheep.
The sheep. We are talking to ranchers, we're driving in a truck, we're checking in on things. Weave Walker is your local investigator.
Miranda have it? Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Does anyone else have
question.
investigation at all?
If I could get away with it, could I transform into Lupus and make a survival check to see what sort of scent I'm getting from the area? Besides, well, sheep and dogs and farmers and whatnot.
Sure.
Or would that be an awareness check? No, it'd be survival. So...
Yeah, this is where I want the skills to be really distinct, and this is a game designed to be very fluffy and just use whatever you're good at. Look at that! 3 successes.
Are you fuck? Alright, sure.
Jake is tired now, as well.
You are indeed fuck.
Yes, clearly.
Take half.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, we're driving around here. And you're going to the Johnson place and other places. We have 3 successes each, which is equivalent to moderate. Well, it's not like they're gonna let the sheep lie around out in the wilds. They have to ship them into town to prove if there are sheep kills. They have to, for insurance purposes, if nothing else. So it's not like they're gonna leave carcasses around out there. What you have to go on is very little. And I'm going to declare that it's not gonna be a moderate challenge to find stuff out here, because I think it's gonna be hard or very hard, so because you have so little traces to go on out here.
okay. As a team,
I mean, you can work. We can just accumulate successes over time, like extended roll.
Yeah. I thought that was like the plan.
Yeah, so it's gonna take just
Like,
longer time for you to do this. Go ahead.
like I have survival as well. If we want to do a team.
Well, you can always add a die to
Yeah.
Jake's roll.
I'll add it out to Jake's roll.
Oh, so I rolled more die?
One more die, yeah.
Not sure if I can add anything.
It's a 10.
Nice.
Okay, then.
Well, so 4 successes accumulated so far. Let's do some more searching during this day as you're driving around.
Speaker's song.
Oh,
Wait, is that?
No, let's not do that here because we might need that against a monster.
you mean the Song of Valor?
Yeah.
It is.
What do you think, Roger? You're the player after all.
That's probably not the best use of it now, but I was thinking I've got decent scores in both science. Yeah, would scientific knowledge be any use for this hunt?
How would that be useful?
What, you a biologist?
I guess it could be useful as a biologist. Yeah, why not? We go with whatever dice combination you have.
So what, science and intelligence?
Yeah. How much do you get when you take half? You get 3. No, you get 2.
I'll roll it. I'll willpower it.
Okay, that's crazy. So we have 4 plus 2 plus whatever half of a Weave Walker's roll is.
Well,
I
the
thought it was
rules are
like
fluffy.
the team effort.
It is a team effort, absolutely.
We're all trying to achieve like roughly the same goal of finding.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 successes in total with Weave Walker's 3, right? 8 successes. Good for you. Well, it's something, right? It's 8 successes, but it's like 3 in each one. This is why I don't like this system, because it doesn't give me the structure that I want as an autistic person for saying, you know, how much does some successes give me? It's just, for every success you get to ask the game master a question, or something like that. For every success after you reach a target number, you get to ask another question. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 5 questions that you get to ask me.
Well, I have a question. When I'm smelling around where roughly the sheep were killed, do I smell anything strange that isn't like a human or sheep?
At one place you will find the smell of coyote, absolutely.
Coyote, all right then.
Second
In the
question.
area where it smells like coyote, is there, I don't know, anything like where the coyote could have easily gotten in, or tracks or something?
Oh yeah, there will be tracks, absolutely.
That might be a good thing to follow.
I guess if we can go fairly specific, from where we are now, assuming it is coyotes, where around here would seem like good coyote habitat? Like, where would they probably be living? Can we tell that?
What was the question you were asking, Roger? Sorry.
If it is coyotes, can we tell where their habitat will be around here, where they'd probably be living?
Yes, you can.
From what we know, does this seem like usual coyote behavior? Is there anything like unusual from the killings that we know of that makes this seem unusual?
Oh, let's see.
Like in the sense that like behavior of the coyotes, that's like unusual behavior for the coyotes. I mean, like
let's see.
them doing something that normally they wouldn't do.
One kill is a coyote. One kill is probably a mountain lion, because they have very different, footprints. And those footprints might not always be easy to see for a mere human eyes, but when you're combining everything with your wolf senses and your smell, it gets easier. Like, how often would predators kill farm animals a regular winter. Like, for the most part, a lot of farm animals will, of course, be kept in the barns and so on, but you will have, like, a predator corridor. You know, the coyote sign, that's going to keep defense lines and draws popping in and out of near, you know, easy access points. A bigger predator is using cover-to-cover travel, maybe crossing frozen water. It's just going to be... Is there a sign of wolf attack? Yes, in one place. But, I mean, the ratio of wolf to coyote and mountain lion is small. There doesn't seem to be reason for the locals to be worried about wolf attacks, perhaps, as much as...
Yeah, the 5 quadrillion coyotes that live in the Midwest.
There's 5 quadrillion coyotes that live out here, and there's not so many wolves, so...
If you kill 70 coyotes, it does not put a dent in the population.
But yeah, there's been a wolf attack out here. There's been at least one, you're pretty sure. Possibly even 2.
How well can we communicate with regular wolves that aren't werewolves?
How good is your animal Ken?
We don't need people Ken to talk with people.
Exactly.
Like when we're a wolf, we don't need animal Ken to talk to wolf, right? We just use whatever persuasion or whatever, right?
Talking as a lupus, talking to a wolf would be like a human homid talking to a human, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, it makes the questions about relations a lot less awkward.
Exactly.
If they just look, just in this universe, wolves are sentient, and they just refuse to pay taxes.
No, they're not sentient. Not that smart. But if they come across a sexy werewolf, you know, they're definitely gonna roll around in the grass with them. They respect werewolf strength. So, we have some traces of wolf attacks, some coyote, some, you know, one mountain lion possibly is out there, which wouldn't be weird, because, you know, that's a natural habitat for them. What are we doing with this information?
I guess we'll have to follow all these tracks and see if they lead to some sort of worm infestation or something. We just have to rule that out.
Very well. You're going to spend the afternoon going into the wilds of Wyoming, basically, tracking down predators and trying to find if they are, in fact, worm infested. Weedwalker will take this time to use her penumbral senses to see if there is worm infestation around here. And you're out in the wilds now, so difficulty is like a 2. I'm gonna say that we're gonna switch to the forest here, because you're out of you're away from, you're not together with the Lupusborn, but you are out in the wilds here and trying to track down the predators. And let's go True Strike. Let's go for some survival checks here to track down some predators, the coyotes, the mountain lions.
+1 from Skitters, and
Absolutely.
that'll be it. That's
yeah,
all she
Weedwalker is gonna just pick up what she did before in terms of... Weedwalker is gonna pick up what she did before in terms of the Umbra. There's absolutely no difference. She's out in the wilds. This is a wild Umbra. The tree spirits are sleeping. The various animal spirits are doing what they should be doing. Birds watching you in the skies. Birds of prey spirits sailing the upwards. Wind spirits, I guess, and it's a wild place. Jake, you're gonna be able to track down the coyote pack responsible for killing at least 1 sheep.
I'm assuming I spot them from a distance.
Absolutely, you do. We're
but
carrying
I'm-
binoculars and going like, "Yep, those are coyotes," and Weave Walker is like, "Yeah, no, I can't see any Wyrm riding them, any Banes riding them."
So just a bunch of dumb sons of bitches. And I guess to fuck with the coyotes, I howl.
They run away. Coyotes versus wolves? They don't want to be around the wolves.
They do not want that smoke.
No. They will run away.
Should we all go into lupus form while we're out here?
Sure.
It's
I suppose it
maybe
would,
easier to traverse that way.
Yeah. Wearing bodies that are more suited to the environment. Why'd you do that?
I pressed Hispo by mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay. Chill, bro. They're just coyotes.
Exactly.
I just pressed the wrong button. There was no need for you to make a song and dance about it.
I know, but I will because it's funny.
Here we go. The Helwalker wolf pack is out, doing their thing. And, well, so far, you've been tracking coyotes, and I guess
Is the
there's-
moon out?
When would moonrise be? That's a good question. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be dark in a while here.
Okay.
So,
One of those days where like the moon is out, but like it's still like some daylight left.
we're in Wyoming, and it's February 15th, so it's going to be sunset 5:30, in fact. So, yeah, the sun is setting.
I'll howl as well.
Oh my
because I
god, you know what it is? It's waxing gibbous, which means that we're gonna get full moon soon, which doesn't matter in this version of the game, which is lame.
It's so lame. They removed all the cool shit.
Yeah, they did remove that.
I just want to start off by saying I disavow ethnic supremacy. That being said, when it comes to TTRPGs, just let the Nordics cook.
Exactly. There we go. Yes. The moon face, one would think, would matter to werewolves somehow. But no, it doesn't, other than howling at the moon. Full moon in 4 days. This is the Galliard moon, so it's all your moon right now, Stormspeaker. This is like...
And since Stormspeaker has the compulsion, he will also have to howl at the moon.
And also, isn't there like a thing where you have to transform into something, or have you?
Or what do you mean? Moon thralled. Whenever you see the moon for the first time on any given night, you must change form to Glabro or Hispo. This is true. Yep, that's Miles. Let's see now. Let's do...
A big ass Hispo. One of these wolves is not like the other.
Yep. I can't get a read on when the moonrise was, though.
Go to hunt a wolf pack. You see a pack of 5 wolves. One of them is the size of a bear. I'd just be done. I just say goodnight, y'all.
Oh, look at that. The moon rises at 4:33 p.m., so it's out early on in the afternoon.
Oh, did Stormspeaker do the transformation yet?
Yeah.
Or... Okay.
So I guess I will go into Hispo.
You'll have to when you see the moon. Of course, you can change immediately out of Hispo once you've seen the moon. Oh my god. So, if you see the moon, and it happens to be in town in Redland City or something, you just... Sorry, everyone. Yeah, I have to remember that. Thanks for reminding me. It's a flaw. It has to arise in play. That's all I can say about that. But you can change back to Lupus if you want to, now that you have done your thing. This is mostly about just tracking your rage, isn't it? Like, you just... Look, the moon. It's my moon. I am big now. And the rest of the pack is looking at you like...
Why? Why'd you do that?
You are probably used to this.
Oh,
by
yeah, we
now.
were already-
This is not the first time you've seen Storm speak.
Yeah, we know exactly where you.
Well, speaking of nothing burgers, you're out in the forest in the evening, in the nightfall, and you have found yourselves coyotes, a mountain lion. That is pretty much it.
Yeah.
You haven't found any wolves around, though.
Huh. Maybe we should talk to those Lupusborn, check up on them. Kayla did mention that.
No. Let's follow those wolf tracks. Let's see if we can find some actual lupus.
Yeah.
How far away are we now from where the Lupusborn are?
I mean, the coyote and the mountain lion will keep way clear of the Lupusborn pack. The Lupusborn, they're marking their scents on the trees and the rocks and, here and there, and it's a warning to other predators. This is our turf. Stay away. The other predators will definitely respect that.
Actually, that's the thought. The next time we see the Lupusborn, maybe one of the solutions we could actually have is talk them into coming closer to the farms and marking it all around as their territory, so they'll know not to attack the sheep.
That's a good idea.
And we'll keep all the predators away as well.
I mean, you could. You're lupus in your lupus form. If you just make the proper markings and everything, this is a survival thing, I would argue.
Yeah, and also, it'd also probably keep other wolves out, because if they smell us, they're going to be like, oh, this is owned by another pack, and we don't want that smoke.
The only problem with that plan is, someone roll intelligence survival for me, please. And I only need the 3 successes. So if you have 3 when you take half, which you don't, True Strike.
Well, yeah, well, I guess let's roll. This seems like a wonderful idea.
It seems like an absolute amazing idea. There is nothing wrong with this idea at all.
Okay.
Close, but no banana. Actually, a lot of wolf, but nothing else. Yeah. True Strike is trying to think really hard on this. Skitters has some survival. So if you roll your intelligence survival and get yourself 3 successes, Skitters, maybe you know about this idea. I can roll for weak.
I'll give it a try as well, just on the off chance that I get criticals.
I'm gonna roll Miranda's check just because she's very smart. But I failed for her. Oh, we got ourselves the crit from the Skitters, man. Look at that. Yeah, there is one problem with the plan. It will definitely keep away the other wolves, but all the farmers and ranchers worth their salt will have dogs, tracking dogs, that will all go, oh my god, the wolf presence has gone up by 100,000%! And they're gonna mark that stuff, and they're gonna absolutely set off the alarms, and the farmers will go, holy shit, there's a lot of wolves in the area now. So, yeah, aside from the little detail that they have dogs who can recognize wolf pee, wolf tracks and wolf scent, and will go absolutely bonkers when they sense it because they've been trained to do so, it's an excellent plan. The dogs are your enemies. They're sold out to the humans. They're Weaver born now, aren't they? The only solution is obviously to kill all the dogs. What?
Whoa, there, Red Talon.
The Red Talon would definitely argue that, by the way. Absolutely, they would. But they're not here, are they? So,
Come here, rouge-ass tribe.
Yeah, the temperatures are now, as the sun is coming down, getting down towards freezing. So it's been, during the day, it's been above freezing because of the Chinook still. So you've been running around in a bunch of muddy stuff, but now it's freezing over which means that your claws are starting to slip over the crust on top of the snow. The snow has been melting on top, and now it's freezing over, so it's getting crunchy and slippery. Bit cloudy now, a little bit windy, just enough to sting your face, or your nose in this case. One flurry or two maybe from the sky. You are once again out. Aside from the fact that you're doing investigations in the wild, isn't it a nice camping trip? Like, you've been in the big city, and now you are in the pure lands of Gaia.
Yeah,
Bone nor be scared.
The place where the weak warriors of Gaia reside.
Exactly.
The true warriors of Gaia go to the cities where everything is tough.
Exactly.
It takes a real werewolf to keep going in New York City.
Themis and True Strike are the only ones who are like, this is an awesome place to be.
This is an awesome place to be, but it is pussy shit. And staying here is not get a Fenris behavior.
It's a reminder of what we defend, says Themis.
Exactly.
How it used to be before the Wyrm went crazy. Her black.
No, it's True Strike, and it's by a long shot.
It's True Strike by that makes sense.
Like True Strike, like pretty often goes into lupus form and stays in lupus form for long periods of time. So yeah.
Miles is thinking that this is nice and all, but he's also sort of mentally comparing it with the cafe on the Lower East Side, which is his true natural habitat.
Okay, so do we find this pack of wolves or not? What do we need to roll to get these guys?
All right, yeah, you're gonna find. I mean, we had a 5 successes in True Strike, so you're gonna find them absolutely. Because we're not talking the Lupusborn now. We're talking the other bunch.
This other wolf pack.
Yeah, they are. Again, it's not the same territory. It's actually closer to the humans' territory a little bit, but maybe perpendicular rather. So if the Lupusborn are straight north, then this other pack are like northwest.
Okay.
If I remember my map correctly, I can double check for you because I be like that. Where's my map? Here's my. So you have the North Flats, and you have the hills, and then you have a bunch of other hills, which are across the Route 23, in fact. So you're gonna cross one of the routes here. It's a route, not a highway, so it's basically just a 2-lane road, right, that goes through the hills. But so you'll have your Lupusborn. They will be on the east side of the route, and you'll have the other. The real wolves, the ordinary wolves, on the west side of the road. And yeah, how are we approaching them then, I guess?
I guess we should play it chill.
Feels
Yeah,
like,
in a friendly fashion.
Oh, Storm Speaker's gonna be the one. Charisma, Persuasion, 4 successes, right?
Yeah. Rizzler, hit him with it.
I don't know if animal magnetism works on lupus, though.
Well, what's the description?
Animal magnetism, a feral aura that draws the attention of humans to them. But you still get 4 successes just taking half, so I guess the pack is going to be there, and when you track them down eventually, they have stopped running for the day. They have a den. They have their wolf den under a big rock, and as you're approaching them, they will howl and issue first a challenge, like this is our territory. But since Storm Speaker is approaching with due reference and everything, it's so weird that you don't really need Animal Ken because it's all instinctual when it comes to wolves specifically. What are we telling them?
That we're I don't know, a traveling pack, and we want to ask them, like, have they seen anything weird?
They will say, nothing strange
I guess
out here.
True Strike will just say, might want to be careful around the humans. I think they're going to get a bit more aggressive pretty soon, from what I've seen.
The wolves will look at each other, look at you. They don't know that you are werewolves.
No, they think we're just regular wolves.
Yeah.
And they don't know
But
the lingo.
Storm Speaker is a really nice dude because of all that charisma persuasion. So, maybe time to move then, they say to each other. Thank you for bringing this to us. There will be more howling.
Yeah. Groovy.
Okay, like today was a big fat. Like, let's go back to the town. Maybe.
I don't know. I
maybe
feel
we
like we
can-
still visit the Lupusborn.
Can that wait till tomorrow? It's getting dark.
I
We'll
wouldn't
have to
hurt.
spend the night
All right.
out here.
What's wrong with that?
It's cold.
We'll be fine if we huddle together.
Speak for yourself. You can huddle with your tail.
All right then. And I guess Jake will just huff and follow the rest of the pack.
Well, Weave Walker's ostensibly the pack leader. What does Weave
I guess-
Walker want to do?
Yeah.
What does we walk? She's an NPC. It's up to you,
It's
Mikhail.
up to me to decide.
Channel.
Nerdy Glasswalker.
Yes.
What would the Glasswalker want?
The Glasswalker probably wants to go back to the Foundation because it's cold and, wintry out here. Like,
Let's head on back.
Staying outdoors overnight, it's not really Weave Walker's thing. And,
Yeah.
and Weave
And
Walker's
that's
like,
it.
I've been on my feet now, on my paws now for such a long time that I would really not mind going into, homid form. Going back to my regular form.
Okay, let's go to Lupusborn. The Lupusborn, so and
What?
spend the
Says
night
Weave
there.
Walker. We've just decided that we were okay.
Jesus Christ.
Stars.
To the Lupusborn. Let them know what's happening.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, it's up to True Strike to track them down again, isn't it? I mean, just because you get to a territory doesn't mean that you know where they are.
Could I, since we've been to their territory before, and also have their scent, have a good idea of what they smell like, have, say, an extra die?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Maybe you can just take half this time because you've been here before. Why not? All right. Though I do want you to roll. Let's see now. Roll. Let's go. Wits and awareness. As you are approaching their territory, as you are getting into their territory, and you find their smell, and you start tracking it, and so on. True Strike. Bad news. You come upon blood tracks in the snow.
Oh,
Yeah, True Strike starts rushing, following the blood. And smell.
After a while, as you're rushing through the snow to follow this track, you will see more blood tracks. It's like it's bleeding. And then you start feeling the smell of man, if you will. And then the worst outcome you could possibly think of. 3 dead bodies of The Lupusborn.
Oh, I am so pissed.
And they're not just dead. They've been mutilated too.
I'm guessing that's a point of rage to everyone.
They have been flayed and decapitated.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Blood everywhere.
Oh, I am in.
Yeah, you just might get a rage point for this, y'all.
Yeah. I already put it in the sheet because... yeah.
Because
This is bad.
So, how many can we see?
3
3 out of the 5, and there was 5 or
4.
4? I can't
or
remember.
4.
4. Okay, where are these?
I guess a true strike, since we'll see that there's only 3 of them, we'll try and find the tracks of the 4th, if there is any.
It's very confusing with the tracks here, honestly. Like, there's a creek. The 4th could have escaped via the water. There is a lot of other things that are covering the smell here. The smell of beer cans.
The second I smell the beer, I like snarl in rage.
Are there any human being tracks?
Oh,
Like
absolutely. There's like big boots, tracks of big boots here.
Okay. Yeah, let's start following them. Roger, you okay with that?
Yeah, I was just thinking, for like werewolf death rituals, is there anything we need to do here before we leave?
We should do that after we found the 4th. He could still be alive.
Yeah.
From what's left of the wolves, can we tell who the survivor is?
You give me survival wits check, and because of the confusing smells, I want 5 successes, please.
I guess let's try. And since...
You're almost there.
Could perhaps Miranda also try and look into this?
Sure.
No.
She doesn't have any survival.
Could we? All right. Oh, Miles. Could we combine our rolls?
No.
All right. Mind then. It was worth an ask. I mean, this is gonna sound kind of morbid, but if, say, for example, we see the genitals and we know who didn't survive, you know?
Well, that makes sense, I guess, because yeah, there's they were split in 2, I guess, because there's 2 male wolves and 2.
We should be able to narrow it down because of what's known as missing claws.
Yeah.
The body has claws, we know.
But then again, then that means Eats Pine Cones could still be alive.
Oh, East Pygons is extremely friendly. Oh my god. She might have... I don't know.
Oh, God. We need to follow humans.
Yeah, we need to follow these tracks, just in case.
That is probably not going to be difficult. Wits, and you can just take half true strike, because you know what? How easy it is to find the tracks here? Just follow the beer cans.
I have a question, Mikhail, about the litany. It says don't eat people, right? It's okay to flay them, right?
It is technically okay to flay them, yes.
Okay. And what about cooking them but then not eating them? Is that okay?
That's a little bit much. Jesus Christ. I feel like just tearing out their throat would be enough.
Although this isn't, if we do this, this really isn't going to help the human aggression towards predators.
Yeah, that being said...
It will if we make it look like it was a serial killer.
We don't have
Yeah.
to kill him in Lucas form. We can kill him in Hamid.
Or what about we get up close enough to him to see him, and then we at least look into the Umbra and see if any of them have got Banes riding them.
Yes. As soon as we find them, we'll check them for Banes.
Then possibly the most sort of mercifully cruel thing we could do if they are being Bane-ridden is just to rip the Banes off them and then leave them with their human consciences to think what they've done.
I don't think they'd care. But whatever. Yeah.
What does
Jake,
that do if somebody is Bane-ridden and you rip the Bane off them? Like, how sudden and overwhelming is the change that happens to them?
If they get cured, and they will feel much better because they no longer have the mental health problems that the Bane induced in them, basically.
unless they're
Provided that
from
they're not
Mori,
Fomori, in which case they just die from a heart attack. So, you are not going to have much of a trouble tracking these guys. Exactly. In fact, when you're about like a few minutes out from where they probably are, you're going to hear them. They are laughing and shouting and like, ha 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 ha! You're going to hear the counter music playing very loudly from whatever...
For the love of God, let them be Fomori.
From whatever stereo system they have in their truck. And you can probably feel the smell of beer from over here. And, you know, we can totally we can drink and drive. It's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Weavewalker, do they look like Fomori?
Weavewalker's gonna take a peek in the Umbra. She needs to get closer though to like nobody's looking your way. They're completely blinded to the night because they're standing in the literal headlights from their truck and popping open another beer, another brewski. They have their rifles on the back. That someone has like the rifles propped up against the truck. They have their hunting vests, so their orange clothes on, so they don't shoot each other by mistake, which could happen otherwise. But if you want to get close enough, how about a stealth check against the difficulty of 2?
That sounds fair. Who's the
Because
worst?
there's a lot of them, and they might hear something. So that means that Miranda can actually take half and just succeed. Is there anyone who cannot take half and just succeed?
Miles?
I don't have any stealth. What stealth and what is it?
Dexterity.
Dex.
So you
I wanna
cannot
go
take half and just
Two
succeed.
index, no. Maybe I just stay back and don't risk blowing this until we know more.
Okay.
Very well. Themis has not enough stealth either, because she only has the 1 die on stealth. So she has. Wait a minute. She's in Hispo form. +2. Oh, -2 to stealth tests. That's enough.
Is it -2 to stealth?
Yeah, it is. -2 to stealth when you're in Hispo. So
'Cause you're
she
so
would
big.
either have to go over to Lupus or to Glabro. Glabro is
Alright.
probably the better form in this case, isn't it? Because that way she can stealth better and make the stealth. You're not planning on talking to these guys, are you?
No. Oh, I'm planning on saying something, but it's
I was just thinking though, one possibility with Miles's insane charisma and persuasion and his animal magnetism. What if Miles just steps out and talks to him and just tries to talk him around and just guilt him about what they've done?
that sounds nice, but I don't think that'll work because Skitters wants to murder these guys in a very...
Yeah. True Strike will say, Themis, Stormspeaker, you stay back. Weavewalker, Skitters, and I will check for Fomori.
Well, Weavewalker is going to go with you. She's changing into Glabro so she can do a better stealth check, because she needs to check for Fomori. Themis wants to be there too, because she wants to rip them a new one, doesn't she?
If we see Fomori, depending on what we see up there, we'll call you over. or we'll come back to bring you with us.
She has 2 successes on a charisma persuasion to go with. You win. She will stay. But Weavewalker is coming with, right? And Skitters,
because
right? So
we need to see whether or not our upcoming murder is justified or not.
All right. So the 3 of you will be sneaking up on these guys, and I'm just gonna move you like this into the thicket here, where Weavewalker will be able to look into the Umbra and see whether they are ridden by horrible things from the Wyrm, which is her penumbral senses. And she succeeds swimmingly. And she's looking over you can see like her eyes are unfocused. I mean, in the dark, it's maybe harder to see, but she's gonna look over the scene and she's gonna, not for Mori, she says.
All right. In that case, then
I can send Optinode to crash their truck.
that sounds good. You should do that. And Jake will switch to Hamid, and we'll look over to the general direction where he knows the other 2 are, and we'll signal to them to come closer.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess they will then. Well, Optinode crashes the truck. It's just like the battery shorts out completely, and the truck goes. And the hunters go like, "What the fuck? God damn it!"
I'm going to shout out, "Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting humans."
Really?
Yeah.
Is this an intimidation check?
Might be. Yeah, it's intimidation, I guess.
All right, charisma intimidation. Let's go.
And since it's a threat, I don't get the -2 for being Gablo.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a pretty scary voice to hear.
I guess he actually sounds like, "Be very, very quiet." You know.
Exactly like that.
When you were saying, crashing the truck, I assumed it was going to wait until they were all in it and driving off, and then just make it look like they died drunk driving.
I mean,
4 successes.
Weavewalker was like, you could do that, and then they would crash into something. That's actually a smarter plan than just attacking them. But it's more gratifying to kill them. Let's see if Weavewalker thinks about that plan. I'm sure she might. She's very smart. She doesn't have any of that. Why doesn't she have leadership as the pack leader? I don't know. Intelligence melee. What is it? This is like an attack thing. So I think it's brawl or melee or something like that. Those. I'm just gonna roll and see if she thinks about this clever plan. She does not think about this clever plan.
All right, then Jake will yell out, "You killed them 3 wolves! Where's the 4th?"
What the fuck? What the fuck's going on out here? Whoever you are, get the fuck out! Show yourselves, you fuckers! And they're definitely arming themselves up, like with their rifles and everything. Like,
And how did my intimidation check do?
it did quite well. They are intimidated. Absolutely. That's why they're all arming up now. Like there's one of them. Let's go. At least one of them has a flashlight, right? Just has to have a flashlight. It's one of them. There we go.
Jake,
flashlight. Look. Show yourselves. Show yourself, assholes.
Sir, come on.
Your death has come. Time to pay your debts through death.
You're gonna hear a bunch of bolt-action rifles locking into place as they're preparing themselves.
Those puny weapons can't hurt us. We are nature's wrath. Run and be saved. Stay and die.
4 successes, I'm going to let you have. Let's see now. I'm rolling their mental check to withstand the horrible intimidation here, and I'm doing this like a blanket thing. So they have 1. Okay, so all of them will take 3 damage in superficial willpower damage, or all of them. That seems a bit powerful, doesn't it? At least one of them will. So I can spread it out too and make like 3 of them take 1 point in superficial willpower damage.
Jake will just yell out, "Tell us where the 4th wolf is and we'll let you live."
Maybe.
Fuck if we know! The damn mutt escaped! Do you know where it is? We can take that one too!
I have a question. Is the guy close enough for one minor action to be enough to close the distance?
Yeah, why not?
Okay then.
Oh,
Hello.
is this the attack now? Is this when they meet the monsters of the forest?
Yep. This is exactly when they meet the monsters of.
Will you go frenzy regardless when you just see these guys and have it confirmed that... I mean, you know it's the hunters anyway, isn't it? Is there any other way of enter frenzy when they fail to spend willpower while in frenzy? Okay, so let's go. They have ranged weapons. They can't see you yet because you are hidden. They are looking around. Have you tried to be stealthy here, or what's the point here? Have you been stealthy until it's your turn to attack, basically? That's...
Yeah. Basically, like, the second we got confirmation that, like, these guys are the ones who killed those wolves, they're done for.
Okay,
We gotta get
I'm gonna
that
roll
wolf.
an awareness check for this guy here. Let's go. 2 successes. Yeah, he doesn't see you. That's gonna go for all of them to make it easier. They haven't seen you. So, I guess you just come out of the dark with a minor action. But you are in Glabro form, not in Krynos, aren't you? Okay, You are not in either. You are in Homid form. You just run.
Wait, out of character. I have a question.
Yes.
When they confirmed that they were the ones who killed the wolves, did I get a point of rage? All right, then. In which case, yeah, no, I'm just a regular human. And
Regular
I guess
human coming out of the dark to punch the guy in the face.
Yep, I'm gonna have to get a little bit wacky with it.
Chances are pretty high that you will get hurt before this is over, so you're gonna be fine. Okay then. I mean, this guy is definitely trying to defend himself, and this is going terribly for him.
Yeah, no, he's like fighting like some sort of martial arts master.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. Since this is a surprise, I'm not even sure he gets the act here.
He's not completely surprised. He heard you out there. So, 5 successes to you. But you're just punching him, aren't you? So it's just superficial. Which doesn't bring him down until you push this.
Oh, I already pushed it and it failed.
Okay. So you don't actually bring him down. Storm Speaker, what do you want to do here?
Yeah, since this is just obviously kicking off, I'm going to run up to one of these guys who are looking away from me and just punch him in the back of the neck.
Very well. Well, you have done your sneak, have you? You are.
Yeah, I was coming up while they were talking to him,
fine.
getting him looking this way.
-2 for minor action, obviously, but it is a surprise, so Guy does not get to defend. So let's see how much damage you do in Glauber form as you punch this guy.
So do I -2 off my dice, or is it -2 from the result after the fact?
No,
by
it's
the way,
off your dice.
since this guy is currently fighting me, does he potentially drop the flashlight he was holding?
Absolutely.
So that's fun. So like you see like in like a light barely like a bunch of extremely buff motherfuckers come out of the woods to charge you. That's fucked. That's some horror movie shit.
Yep. I mean, there is, in fact, a flashlight. It's just not on him anymore. So it's more like lying
Just a
around
light.
like this, but I'm going to make it, a flashlight. So, okay, 4 successes. Are you doing superficial or lethal or aggravated? Strong speaking.
I'm not biting him, I'm just slugging him.
Okay. Punch. Ugh. Well, these are sturdy dudes. They're your local hunter bunch. Some of them have a little bit of a keg tummy, and others are, downright athletic. So, what is Skitters doing? Are we throwing knives again?
Yeah. But I want to get freaky with it.
You wanna get
Freaky.
freaky
Ooh,
with
I
it?
love
I'm
Freaky
gonna
Friday.
do- I'm going to do an aim shot at a dude with my knife.
Okay.
Like aim for his hand.
Oh, you want to immobilize them so they can't use their rifle.
Yeah.
So, who do you want to aim for?
Wait,
You
do we
have
have?
light in your face, which makes it much harder to aim.
I can't really see the guys. Where are they?
That's the thing. You're looking into the literal flashlight beam, so you can't see the guys.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to close the
Also,
distance.
you have to get back into Foundry because you've been. There you go. Now you're back in.
Yeah, I just pressed refresh because I don't know. I could see them because they had the light.
Yeah. You can. You know where they are. You can't see them because when a flashlight beam. Have you been out in the woods and had a flashlight? Shine in your face? You can't
I'm
see
gonna
squat
throw
behind
for
that.
the. I'm gonna try to aim for the arm of the guy that's holding this light.
Well, he's dropped the light. The light is on the
Oh,
ground.
Sorry, man.
It's still in your eyes. It's lying on the ground and it's shining in your direction. So, yeah, you can't see anything
Okay.
behind that flashlight.
Okay, well let's
You're
take a few
here.
steps to the left.
Right here.
So I'm here. All right, so I just take one step, so I'm in the darkness like that,
Okay. Yeah.
and then I throw.
I'm gonna give you minus
5 billion.
yes 5 billion
Well-
because your eyes are still blinking the light out of their eyes. So what is your? It's athletics, right?
Whoa, wait, hold on. I'm right in front of you, right here.
Yep.
You're here.
Yep.
The enemies are in front of me, which means you're gonna have to do some crazy ass tricks. Which means honestly,
I didn't know
your
where
only
you
choice
were
is to-
standing. I said I was throwing at this guy. He said he's.
I'm this guy, and this guy's in front of
Skitters
me.
throws.
I'm aiming at the guy who just dropped the light because he's the one guy I can see
Yes.
for sure.
Very
Just
well.
throw it at the big
Cold
direction
shot.
of the light.
Minus 4 dice in total. Let's go.
Minus 4 dice. Okay.
Skitters
if you
and
hit
his
that
throwing
hit
knives.
you with that knife, you better hope that the hunters shoot you because I'm gonna pull it out of my shoulder and I'm
I
gonna
can-
stab you with it, motherfucker.
I could hope you be stunned for more than 10 seconds, but that'd be a fool's hope.
Sleep deprived El Duende.
But whatever. I hate you all. I hate you. I hate all 3 of you motherfuckers so much.
Well, it's going to hit home.
Let's read.
With
Oh yeah, two
successes.
Two successes.
So that's gonna be 3 in total, I guess. No, 3 in damage in total because the knife, and it's aggravated because it's blade against a human.
So this guy is totally in the impaired health state now.
Absolutely, he is. He screams very loudly as the knife hits his shoulder blade right where so he can't, shoot with a rifle anymore because he's in a great deal of pain. that gives us to, I guess, Themis and Weavewalker. Weavewalker is not a fighter, is she?
But she could, like, I don't know, do something with the truck so like the lights come on or something, so things are easier to see.
I guess she could. She could tell Optinode to do just that.
Optinode, blind their asses.
Boom! Ah! Our eyes! Themis will do much the same as you did, True Strike. Except, oh, she doesn't have, she hasn't taken any wounds yet, so I guess she will just rush in there and finish the guy off or something. Poor man. He never knew what hit him. Strength brawl.
This is the part of the game where if it were Call of Cthulhu and this guy were the PC, the guy
They're all
playing
rolling
him,
sanity checks now.
Well, no, but also this would be the part where the guy playing this character would be calling bullshit.
Well, that is 3 more bashing damage, and he is down. She just knocks him to his ass, and he's either dead or you know, he's out of the fight, that's for sure. But now all of them will act, and they have rifles, and they're not afraid to use them. Except
However,
against
they have all been
Stormspeaker, because
blinded.
they can't freaking see Stormspeaker. Except they're all blinded because the headlights turned on. So they're all gonna run out of the headlights. And they're gonna have a -4 on their, you know, shooting as they're trying to shoot Themis and True Strike. So I don't know who's shooting whom. They just see you guys and they're like, "What the fuck?" And start opening up, because, you know, this is Wyoming, this is self-defense, we're standing our ground, damn it! Stormspeaker, firearms, minus all the dice because they are still blinking the light out of their eyes. Stormspeaker, it is a hit, in fact, with a rifle. Which is still just doing, you know, superficial damage on you because, you know, you are in fact in Glabro form, aren't you?
Well, no, because we decided earlier that it's regardless of form. If you're a werewolf, you take half damage to superficial.
Right. Yeah, I think we did. Dang it.
Yeah, we did.
That was not the case in the 20th anniversary edition. So, this is gonna be... what is it? Yeah, it's probably a 30-06 or something like that. Typical, you know, hunting rifle. So that's 4. Your vest can't house you in Glabro, my dude.
But if it's consecrated to him, so it changes with his form.
Oh my god, you have consecrated it to you. Of course you have. You know what? In this system, you know what armor does? It
Nothing.
transforms aggravated to superficial, so it doesn't help you at all. So that is gonna be 2 bashing damage, 2 superficial damage on you. And we'll have another one who does the same thing. I should just roll all of them at once somehow, and... okay, we're gonna shoot... I mean, she looks scary because she's big and gnarly, so I think all of them will shoot Themis, honestly. I mean, wouldn't you if you saw Themis coming like that in Glabro form?
Yeah, that mess.
Shoot! Shoot them now!
They don't know that Themis is the lesser of the 2 dangers.
And then I'm just gonna, I guess, summarize this. So, firearms... +1, -4... It's just easier if I do the whole... because it's just one big dice pool against another, isn't it? 2 successes! +3, that's 5. 2 more superficials. Just hit several times. Bang, bang! You hear the shots ringing out. These are all gunshots. And since they're no longer in surprise mode, I'm gonna go with a new sort of initiative mode for storytelling, which means that ranged shots go first. So now we'll have 2 guys here who are shooting Storm Speaker. No, they're not shooting Storm Speaker because Storm Speaker is fighting this guy, and they don't want to hit Storm Speaker or accidentally hit their friend. So we're gonna all shoot True Strike and Themis, and I'm just gonna summarize this. Are you gonna dodge anything here? Because okay, I'm just gonna summarize their dice pools because it's 2 people shooting you, so it's 10 dice in total. Boom. One shoots like this, boom, and that's gonna be 2 successes, which is basically half, and the other one shoots like that, and
I beg of thee, shoot me.
yeah, that's what they're doing. Storm Speaker. Oh, we gained a rage. She's gaining a rage. You are gonna get some rage now, True Strike. So you taken 2 bashing from the first one, and the other one was also 2 successes, wasn't it? So that's 2 more. So now you have extra rage because you were hurt. And then we'll have...
a point of rage for each hit? Why'd you give me an extra point of rage?
Did I give you an extra point of rage?
Because I just put in 1 point of rage.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. You should just have the 1 point.
I'll put an extra point of rage in because I'd lost one going into Glabro, so now I've got it back.
Okay, Themis is taking a punishment here. That is 8 damage in total, which is 4 superficial. She might need to dodge that. But dodging firearms is -2, isn't it? So she's gonna just have to do Dex and Athletics here to try and dodge that. At a -2. So 4! She throws herself to the ground. That's still 1 success. +3 is 4, which is 2. She is health impaired by superficial damage. She screams in pain. Your packmate is hurt, True Strike. Your packmate is hurt.
I do get another point. Right?
Do you?
Another point?
A rage?
Another one?
Maybe. We have 2 more points of bashing on superficial on Themis. And then another round of shooting here. They're basically all just shooting her because she was big and beefy, and it's just bang, gunpowder from everywhere. Themis is in like deep trouble right now. She's just been shot up. She's falling over and screaming in pain. And let me check for rage here. 33. Yeah, okay, I think everybody can take a rage point for seeing Themis basically hit the ground because she's just being absolutely clobbered by the bullets. So yeah, go ahead, True Strike.
It's my turn now?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, so first of all, I'm transforming into Hispo. And using Rapid Shift.
Rapid Shift to Hispo.
Yeah,
and
so I'm going to charge this guy. Yeah,
you can see the smoke from his barrel. He has taken his shot.
He's dead. He's dead.
Is that aggravated?
Yeah, all of that.
How much extra do you get for your teeth?
+1.
So 6. Yeah, he's dead.
True Strike charges this guy and just with 1 bite, just puts his entire jaw around the guy's head and just crushes.
And you hear the crack as the spine snaps under the force of your jaws. And he has that split second to see just the size of that wolf, and then he's dead. And there's blood everywhere.
They're starting to regret their decision to hunt those wolves.
I think they might. Storm Speaker, you are fighting this guy in melee, and he is trying to fight you in melee with his rifle, basically. He's just trying to club you. Oh.
Okay, so what's the rules about regenerating health? If I do the rage check to regenerate health, how much could I get back?
So you are in Glabro, you gain 1 health level back.
If you roll a rage check.
If you roll a rage check, indeed.
Me
I might as well
shot
start whittling this down. I'll do a rage check and knock 1 health off. 1 health damage off. I got it for free anyway. Okay, so now I will sing the Song of Valor so everybody else is beefed up.
Okay, roll for that. This is in full action, so charisma plus honor, difficulty 3, and roll a rage check. What are you singing? We come to kill you. I'm curious what this sounds like.
Okay, in Glabro form, this is probably just that black metal throat roar.
That makes sense. Roar! And everybody's inspired by it. Yeah, the wolf pack is inspired by it. Absolutely.
Charisma glory, you said.
Yes. Provided that you succeed with a difficulty 3 check. Nope! You fail! Brutal outcome automatically fails.
So it's just like, it just turns into like a primal yell.
Yeah. You're so much inside your own rage here that you're just kind of screaming and it's just a weird roar that doesn't inspire anyone, unfortunately. Skitters, you have an action. What do you want to do?
Now would be a good time to put yourself in the line of fire.
Taken down 2 of them already.
Skitters is going to rapid shift, so glow into Cronus, and then roll Dex plus glory.
Yeah.
So
Rapid shift,
glory.
absolutely.
Oh, plus Dex. 8. That's like that's like 10 dice. If I take half, that's 4 successes.
You can't take half. Start rolling.
Yep. And then, I guess...
Yeah, I succeed.
Absolutely.
So I succeed on my rapid shift. Then I'm going to like jump or like tackle this dude here.
He's down.
He's already dead. He's down.
He's gone.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see. My camera is so far away. This dude? Okay, that dude, so.
Yeah. Okay, -2 on the attack because it's a minor action to get there.
Since it doesn't make much difference, can it be just like, well, like, I know that's a gift. It would be to leap there. So, can I, like, parkour from tree to tree on the way there, just for awesomeness?
Parkour
And then
3 to 2.
Then Dex brawl this dude.
Yep. -2 dice. But now you're big and scary.
I rolled a fair amount of successes.
You rolled amazing amount of successes. And what are we doing here? Claws or bite?
Yeah, a claw kind of claws to his stomach attack.
Okay, yeah. So that's going to be 9 damage. Your claws are not doing aggravated damage, though. So it's still 9 damage, though. So that's... Yeah. Ugh! He just falls over double and stumbles.
Is he dead?
No, he's not dead. If you would have bitten him, he would have died.
Okay, then I bite him.
There you go.
Whatever.
He's dead. What does that sound like when you tear into him with your enormous maw?
Since I'm biting, he just like, he bites his head off, like bites through the neck.
Yep.
Takes his head off and then spits out the head at one of the other guys who's still alive. And laughs.
And laughs.
Incronus.
Well, Weave Walker is going to rush over to Themis because Themis is in troubles. She can do a Mother's Touch. She'll have a -2 on the die roll, obviously, because she needs to do this. Intelligence Glory. Let's go. Intelligence. Okay, so she's healed... Too superficial here. So Bryce is no longer health impaired.
And when they I'd like to keep one of these guys alive if it's possible.
Entirely up to whether or not this guy bleeds out.
Bryce
Yeah,
goes into
yeah.
Krynos as well, because of course she does. And since you guys have that flank, she's gonna jump over to this side and kill this guy with her teeth. It's gonna be a -2, of course. Oh wait, before she does that, she's gonna try to recover some aggravate. Okay, so she's just gonna try to bite him. Strength and brawl. -2 for the minor action. And that's 7 successes. And she tears his head off with her mouth. He is very dead. Storm Speaker, you don't have a problem anymore because the guy who was standing right in front of you, you're just showered in blood. Splatter movie style here. Just dead. And that's all of you. I guess it's the 3rd turn now, and there isn't a whole lot of them left. There's like 3 of them left. 4 actually. Let's run away because this is a horror show.
Wait, shouldn't they be all be like getting the delirium because like I'm in?
They should be.
Um,
They are not. Something is weird.
Okay, just
Oh. Well, that's fucked up. We gotta kill most of these guys. Okay, now we have to bring in some of these guys alive. We have to find out what's happening
Yeah.
here.
I'm back. What have we discovered?
Everybody's dead. No. they're
no.
not.
And so these guys should be delirium in, but they're not. But they should be rolling from delirium, but they're not.
Okay, so now you guys have to decide which person to run after.
Can we
have
split up?
5 of you. Yeah, oh, obviously.
Yeah, let's,
okay,
split
so
up.
Jake, you're the fastest, so you can pick which one you chase after first.
I mean, this guy right here is running. Oh, everybody get out of here! Holy fuck, what is this shit? True Strike, Athletics.
Yeah, could I
athletics
just
to catch
take
the guy?
half and- Could I just take half and grab the driver here since
Sure.
he?
Oh, because you have all the. Wait a minute. How much athletics do you have? You have Dex
With,
6, and then you have your own +2 for Hispos. So you have 3, 4. But doesn't he win the draw? Because he's trying to get away? He's the attacker, he's running?
Oh, he's the attacker. Well, in that case, then.
Someone needs to roll to catch this guy.
Oh, well, in
Okay,
that case, I think I'll just go with an easier target. Hey, this guy looks interesting. This guy.
Yeah. Rump, you have caught him.
He's pretty cool guy too. So yeah. So
You're
I'll
right
just,
on top of the guy. He's like, nah!
Yeah. So Jake will just quickly close the distance with him, and
Yep.
first make one bite to crush one of his legs, and then another bite to crush his hand,
Yep, that's gonna work.
and just basically drag him to the light.
Yep, drag him to the light. Miles, what do you want to do? 2 of them trying to get away from you here. 3 of them,
One
actually.
question. When I rolled the do the Song of Valor, it put me at -2 because it's a social skill while in Abro form. But since all the intended audience was werewolves, I shouldn't have been at that disadvantage, should I have been?
No, because it says not.
Right, it's not a social test like that, yeah. So you have...
Yeah.
Well, you still
back
have brutal
second.
outcome, so it doesn't matter. Brutal outcome always fails. You had a brutal outcome.
I might not have had a brutal outcome if I'd had those 2 extra dice.
No, you
Doesn't
had
matter.
2 dice with brutal outcome on them, so the extra
Okay.
dice are green. The brutal
Don't worry
outcome
about
are
it.
always red. You fail.
Right, so who's running where here?
The guys behind you and the guy in the truck. I mean, he's gonna gun the truck and just drive over Themis, basically, because no Optinode is gonna make sure that the truck cannot be driven. He's been trying to put the pedal to the metal, and it just doesn't work. So he's running out instead. He's just running out. So you have 3 to choose from here. This guy has 2 successes, this guy has 3 successes, and this guy has 4 successes. Who are you chasing down?
Yes, since Miles isn't athletic at all, I'll go for the closest one.
I mean, you do have Hair's Leap.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Then I'll go for whichever one can only be hit with Hair's Leap, and if they're out
That's gonna be the driver then, obviously. Roll a rage check. Let's go. Okay, you lose some rage from this. Strength plus glory. Leaps 3 meters horizontally or 2 meters vertically for every success on the test. Strength and glory. You have a lot of glory. Not so much strength, but a lot of glory. So, for every success on the test, you leap 3 meters horizontally. You leap 12 meters. Just boom! This is like an Olympic jump, basically. And crashing down on this guy, so you got him. Skitters, are we following anyone? You've killed a guy. There's 2 left.
Yeah. Which one is the farthest away? Or looks
here,
like the most
clearly?
This is good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll rapid shift again to
I mean, why though? Because physical test plus 4 in Krenos.
Yeah, but I'm worried about accidentally killing him. Oh, well, okay.
Fair enough.
Sure, if I accidentally kill him, if he dies, he dies. I'll roll Dex Athletics to catch up with him. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
5,
because
6.
you might go frenzy because you are in Krenos. This is true. Good point.
So I don't think I really need. I'll go down to Blabro, and I'll roll Dex Glory that's a rapid shift.
Yeah.
And so I've got +2.
Yeah, so dexterity athletics, you have 9 dice, 4 when taking half. Though I'm gonna remove 1 success because you are, that far away. But even then, you will be able to catch up with this guy, so that's done. And then we have Themis, I suppose, as the last person here. And I think she will stay in Krenos, honestly, because she's taken so much hurt. She is going to try to heal. And she succeeds, so that is 1 less superficial health damage. And then she is going to try to chase down this guy. Unfortunately, she might kill him because, frenzy and all that. So that is 6 plus 3, 9. So 4 successes when taking half. She will chase him down. And what was the whole frenzy thing again? That is 139. Violent frenzy, can leave frenzy. Entering, if you start the turn in front, if you didn't kill anything, and they fail to spend a point of willpower. She killed something last turn, so she's fine. But after this, so next turn she's going to have to shift down to something else. But you have succeeded in catching 3 of these guys alive. Weed Walker's obviously gonna try to...
4.
4 even, yeah.
Well, 5 if this guy doesn't bleed out.
Well, he probably will, but and we're gonna do another Mother's Touch, of course. We have intelligence plus glory.
So I guess that means all the prisoners here are dragged in the light.
They are, and the combat is over. I do not have 2 successes to... How much do we need for Mother's Touch to actually heal aggravated stuff? A single level can be of aggravated instead of a superficial one. So she's gonna actually heal 1 aggravated on Themis. And with that, you have captured a bunch of hunters out in the Wyoming forest. They are whimpering in fear. You can feel the smell of beer on their breath. As Bryce is definitely, shifting into Homid because she lost the wolf. But it's not going to matter that much because the rest of you are big and scary and here. And next week, when we come back, we're going to explore who are these guys, really? And why did they not go into Delirium when they saw the Krenos shapes? Who knows?
Yes.
Stay tuned and you might find out. Thank you so much for joining us for Werewolf, the Apocalypse. And we will see you again.